Yeah, like I said in my release, I wish they would have stayed, and it's unfortunate. But the guys that are here they're certainly committed, and they're excited about the direction we're going. We were hoping it wouldn't have happened or played out that way, but it did. And now the key for us is just to continue. We talk a lot about unity in our program, and even we have some principles. We talk about unity and servanthood, and we'll have to lean on those. We have a player, obviously, who's going to come off of a red shirt in Paul Jesperson, who just said, "Coach, I just want to help the team, so I'm willing to, though I sat out the first 11 games, if I can be, of value to the team, I'll come off of it." So we'll pull him off to get the depth. The tricky thing will be just in practice, making sure we can be smart with that. And our two coaches, Coach Sanchez and Coach Williford, will practice a little more, so they're going to get in better shape. I think their wives will be happy because they'll probably trim down as the season progresses. But overall, the core is intact, and it's a strong team that way.
Can you talk about the decision to lift his red shirt, and also maybe how you're hoping he's going to impact the team? I know that's a contributor.
Yeah, well, we're usually playing three guys on the perimeter, so with KT departing, that only leaves us with four players. So Paul, gives us now again a little more depth, 5 players for those 3 spots. And it was a hard decision to redshirt Paul initially because he did show some signs. It was more just to let him physically mature and pick up on some quickness. And now that again KT's gone, his strength has always been his feel and his mind for the game. So hopefully that will carry him. He'll have to adjust again to the physicality and the quickness of the game. He'll get some opportunities. It just depends how he does. I told him that it may be a few minutes here and there. It may be more depending upon how it goes. But one thing I do know is, just like with Darian Atkins, these minutes they're getting as first years is going to help them be more prepared for next year. And that's important. Would his 5th year have been more productive than his first year? Absolutely. But I think the minutes he'll get will at least help him. And again, his decision was just want to help the team. And if there's an injury, foul trouble, or if maybe he's more ready than maybe people will think. So we'll find that out.
Was it more than just playing time with those two, or was there something else, or was it just they weren't?
There's so many reasons why guys decide to leave, and it's happened more and more frequently. I think playing time is always a big issue. That's been the case, and I understand that to an extent. I just was hoping maybe if this wasn't the right place, it would be at the end of the season we talk. But I don't always know what goes on as far as every issue. Certainly we've communicated and told them that stay patient, hang in there. Your opportunity hopefully will come. And but I think as they said, they did what was in their best interests. And when that occurs, when young men feel like it's in their best interest, then it probably for both parties, it's best to split ways. It really is, or part ways. And so, again, because they're good young men, they really are. KT and James are fine young men. They worked hard while they were here. All I can do is wish them the best. Wish it would have turned out differently, but again, that's life, and both of us have to move on, and we certainly will, and I hope they will too.
Especially with redshirt seniors, how tough must it be to preach patience to kids who are 20 years old, knowing that their year could be next year, but like you said, they weren't willing to wait until the end and kind of assess it then.
I think every player who plays, who's been through years of college basketball, has had to battle adversity and had to wait and be patient. And sometimes when you're patient and wait, there's a great reward in terms of playing time and opportunities. And sometimes it doesn't work out that way. But I know our Sammy and Mike, and we got some great examples in Jerome and Mustafa. It was a little bit of a bumpy road, but I'm glad guys like that stuck it out. And hopefully we'll have guys that'll continue to stay together. And again, with James and KT, maybe they'll I hope they do find a better situation for them and get the most out of it. But that's why I do like coaching at Virginia a lot, because it's more than just basketball. There's such an opportunity for these guys after their basketball's done to get a degree from here, and I feel like we have a lot to offer them. And the guys that are here, we're just going to keep coaching them up and encouraging them and keep trying to build a good team.
At this point in the season, you had kind of your first 4 guards and your first 4 posts.
Yep.
How does the depth in the rotation change now that you still have that, but you have 2 less scholarship guys?
Right. The rotation's going to be roughly the same. That won't change, although KT was getting in there. James hadn't been playing much. Where it comes into play is the depth. That's why we're bringing Paul off of his red shirt. Hopefully we stay healthy. But again, you can't control everything. So as I mentioned, our coaches, Coach Sanchez and Coach Williford, in practice will be involved more with the scout team and getting reps. But the guys that are playing are, you know, the main minutes are still intact, and that's the positive.
With these 2 days kind of to prepare after their transfers were announced, you know, what are your thoughts on tomorrow night's game, and what do you look forward to tomorrow night?
Well, as we learned, record isn't indicative of a team being able to challenge you. And Seattle took us to the wire, and they played motivated, and you know they gave us everything we could handle. And there's talent in college basketball. Every team has it, and they can play well on any given night. So our ability to try to play well from the start to the finish, and being back at home, hopefully will establish the kind of basketball that'll give us a chance. But we certainly respect whoever we play, knowing that if a team's 8-3, 3-8, you still have to play at this level, and that's certainly been proven true many times. But you're seeing it this year more and more. It seems, as we guys say, every year college basketball, the parity creeps in, and that's certainly the case.
For the second week in a row, Mike Scott's the ACC Player of the Week. He had a career high, just a monster game on Wednesday. Is it as good as you thought he'd be? I mean, he was an ACC